Egypt hosts Eritrean and Somali foreign ministers in the first joint committee since the October 2024 Asmara summit. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli inspects the final touches of the Grand Egyptian Museum project. And Egypt reports 17.5 million tourists visited Egypt in 2024. You're watching the latest updates from Egypt on Qnews. Let's move to the latest developments. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulhadi has hosted his Eritrean and Somali counterparts to convene the first joint ministerial committee following the October 2024 Asmara summit. Discussions focused on implementing directives to bolster security in the Horn of Africa, counter terrorism in Somalia, and regional stability, including the situation in Sudan. The ministers commended trilateral cooperation in Eritrea and Somalia's support for Egypt's UNESCO candidate. A second summit is planned soon. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulhadi has hosted Eritrean Foreign Minister Osman Saleh in Cairo. The meeting emphasized enhancing bilateral ties and exploring new collaboration opportunities. Discussions covered joint efforts for the Horn of Africa's stability, Red Sea security, and Sudan's unity. Both sides agreed to continue consultations, coordinate on regional and international nominations, and launch initiatives for mutual benefits, reaffirming Egypt's commitment to the African solidarity. Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdulhadi and his Somali counterpart Ahmed Mualim Faqi have discussed strengthening bilateral cooperation and working to implement joint programs. Minister Abdulhadi emphasized Egypt's commitment to supporting Somalia's security, stability, and sovereignty. The ministers also discussed the transition from the ATMOS mission to the OSAM, stressing its swift launch, sustainable funding, and Somali leadership in security efforts. They also highlighted support for the Somali National Army and regional stability, noting the Somali defense minister's visit to Cairo and agreeing to strengthen coordination through the Joint Ministerial Committee, building on the outcome of the October 2024 Egypt-Somalia-Eritrea summit. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulhadi has bid farewell to South Sudan's outgoing ambassador Joseph Momajak, now Minister of Trade and Industry. Abdulhadi praised Egypt's historic ties with South Sudan and reaffirmed Egypt's support for its stability and development. He emphasized Egypt's water security concerns, opposing unilateral actions on shared water resources while advocating cooperation and adherence to international law in Nile Basin agreements. Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdulhadi has discussed fostering bilateral relations with Mozambique's acting Foreign Minister Manuel José Gonçalves in a phone conversation. Abdulhadi stressed Egypt's keenness to promote bilateral relations in various areas and built on President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's historic visit to Mozambique in 2023. They also exchanged views on regional issues of common concern, notably the situation in Africa, the efforts to support the African integration process. In his speech on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi at the Extraordinary African Summit, Minister of Agriculture Ala Farouk stressed Egypt's commitment to strengthening regional cooperation to address shared challenges hindering sustainable development. Farouk stressed that the Kampala Declaration will guide Africa's food security and sustainable development by 2035, focusing on resilient agriculture. He also called for international support and cooperation with the African Union Commission to achieve Africa's goals. Minister of Electricity and Renewable Energy Mahmoud Asmat is heading to the United Arab Emirates to take part in the 15th session of the Assembly of the International Renewable Energy Agency, the ARENA, and Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, the ADSW. The minister will discuss enhancing cooperation and acknowledge exchange on renewable energy and storage systems among ARENA member states. He will also highlight Egypt's strategy for sustainable development, clean energy, reducing fossil fuel reliance, and mitigating carbon emissions in partnership with the private sector. The Minister of Defense and Military Production, Abdelmajid Sakr, has discussed regional and international developments and their implications on Africa's security with Somali counterpart Abdul Qadir Mohammed Noor. Sakr commended the deep historical ties between Egypt and Somalia and expressed pride in the partnership between the armed forces of both nations. For his part, the Somali Defense Minister expressed his deep gratitude and appreciation for Egypt's efforts in establishing the foundations of security and stability across the African nations. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has inspected the final touches of the Grand Egyptian Museum, the GEM, project and its vicinity in preparation for its official opening. Madbouli highlighted the efforts exerted to develop and improve areas surrounding the museum, adding that a vast road network has been built to facilitate access to the area. The developed road network aims to turn the area into a key tourist attraction. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has inspected the innovation hub Creativa, which was established by the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. The Prime Minister emphasized the government's focus on advancing the communication and IT sectors. Meanwhile, the Minister of Communication and Information Technology, Amr Talat, noted the expansion of Creative across governorates to support IT entrepreneurs. He added that 23 centers have been completed so far, with plans to finish the remaining centers in 2025. The Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Sharif Fathi, has stated that the number of tourists visiting Egypt in 2024 reached 17.5 million. In a speech during a ceremony held by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities to celebrate Egyptian Archaeologists' Day, Fathi stressed that the political leadership pays great attention to promoting tourism and developing the antiquities sector, and is keen to provide security and stability that leads to increasing tourists' confidence in Egypt. Minister of Environment Yasmin Fouad has announced the launch of the first phase of the maintenance and installation projects in South Sinai, beginning with the Ras Mohammed protected area in Sharm el-Sheikh. According to a statement by the Environment Minister, the plan includes assessing existing buoy locations, evaluating their use, and determining appropriate installation methods. Minister Fouad stated that buoys protect coral reefs and reduce the impact of random boat docking, ensuring marine sustainability and supporting sustainable tourism in South Sinai. The Aswan Governorate is marking the 65th anniversary of the laying of the High Dam's foundation stone in January 1960. Aswan Governor has Ismail Kamel thanked the builders of the dam, hailing it as the greatest engineering project in the 20th century. He added that Aswan has become the capital of solar energy and a destination for foreign, Arab and local investments. The governor also shed light on the solar power plants in Benboun and Faris villages, which produce 2,100 megawatts in total and exceed the high dam's outputs. The Tahya Mas Fund has intensified social protection convoys in remote and border areas starting from Halaib and Shelatin. The Tahya Mas Fund reached 10,000 families in Halaib and Shelatin, distributing 10,000 food boxes as part of the Bon Appetit initiative, 10,000 blankets and quilts for winter initiative, 5,000 new clothing items and wedding supplies for 25 brides. The convoy is scheduled to continue until January 15th. The official spokesman for the Ministry of Health and Population, Hussam Abdel Ghaffar, has confirmed that the decision by Saudi health authorities to require all travelers wishing to perform Umrah or visit Medina, Jeddah, Taif or Mecca, regardless of visa type, to receive the meningitis vaccine at least 10 days before travel will not apply to those traveling before February 10th. The requirements will, however, come into effect starting February 10th, 2025. The Minister of Public Business Sector, Mohammed Shimi, and Governor of Daqqaliyya, Major General Tariq Marzouk, have discussed enhancing cooperation on key projects and mutual concerns. At the start of his visit to the Delta Fertilizers Company in Talkha, Shimi emphasized the ministry's commitment to reviving and modernizing the company to meet local markets' needs and boost exports. Major General Tariq Marzouk praised the minister's efforts to develop state-owned factories, enhance production, and support the national economy. A World Economic Forum, the WEF, report has revealed Egypt's National Initiative for Smart Green Projects, the NISGP, showcased the country's green innovation potential with 12,000 submissions and 3,817 advancing to further stages. The NISGP, launched at COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, is a nationwide movement that mobilizes local solutions to combat climate change. These projects cover various sectors including waste management, renewable energy, climate adaptation, sustainable agriculture, emissions reduction and pollution control. The Egyptian Meteorological Authority, the EMA, forecasts moderate weather in most parts of the country. Warm weather is also predicted to hit South Sinai and South Upper Egypt. The country will also witness mist on agricultural and highway roads in Cairo, Lower Egypt, Canal Cities, North Coast, Sinai, Gulf of Suez, and North Upper Egypt. Light to moderate rainfall and sometimes thunderstorms will prevail intermittently in the North Coast, Lower Egypt, Sinai, Gulf of Suez, and Canal Cities. Light rain is also predicted to hit Cairo at intermittent periods. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin. Here is what we've been covering. Egypt hosts Eritrean and Somali foreign ministers in the first joint committee since the October 2024 Asmara summit. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli inspects the final touches of the Grand Egyptian Museum project. And Egypt reports 17.5 million tourists visited Egypt in 2024. That's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments. Many thanks for watching.